Your top story, the man who shot and killed his son on Tuesday night in what some have described as a freak accident is appearing at the Protea Magistrates Court. The incident sent shockwaves across the country after the man shot his grade 11 son at the Innerdale High School south of Johannesburg on Tuesday night.
According to the police, the man fell asleep in the car while waiting for his son during extra lessons outside the school. And when the son got back to the car after his class, he knocked on the window, but the men opened fire, believing he was being hijacked.
Now, for the latest on this tragic story, SABC reporter Gillian Pillay joins us now live from the Pretoria Magistrates Court in Soweto. Gillian, you know, when people heard the story yesterday, many got that gut-wrenching feeling deep down inside, basically with regard to the circumstances. What do we know at this stage? What's going to happen at the Pretoria Magistrates Court today? Or the Protea, rather?
A very good morning to you, Blaine. Yes, we're at the Protea Magistrates Court, but like all first appearances, this is likely to be very brief. We know that it's a murder charge. We know that it's a Schedule 6 offense, meaning that the minimum sentence in a matter like this would be 15 years. So the accused will have to present exceptional circumstances why he should be released on bail, but that leg of the proceedings is not going to happen today. Today, the charge of murder will be put to him. They'll establish if he has legal representation. If he doesn't have legal representation, they'll obviously offer legal aid. And yeah, it's a very, very brief leg of proceedings today. It will be postponed, and then in the next session, we will then see him likely to apply for bail. But as you said there, Blaine, quite shocking chain of events, especially in the community of Innerdale. We're talking about a pupil, a learner, who was a top achiever, who excelled academically, who was quite popular among his peers, who had made an impression, particularly in the academic sphere of his schooling. Very shocking that, you know, the dad who was stationed inside the school premises Tuesday night, who had nodded off to sleep when the boy knocked on the window, obviously done with those evening classes that he had attended, and those chain of events where we hear from police that the dad had mistaken him for a hijacker and then fired that particular shot, Blaine. But as you said there, quite a shocking chain of events that South Africans had awoken to yesterday morning, Blaine.
Gillian, we know that police are investigating that version. It's alleged that the father fell asleep. Is there any other versions or any other, scenarios that police are exploring?
What we had asked police yesterday, Blaine, in the series of questions that we had, as you know, this matter has attracted quite a lot of media attention. We had put to police, was the dad intoxicated at the time? The police couldn't really give us a clear answer as they're waiting on blood tests. We also asked about the relationship between the father and the son, because we had heard some speculation just from peers and from people that we had interacted with that, there could possibly be and it's difficult to say at this stage. The relationship between the dad could possibly not have been as close as the stepmom had told us last night in an interview. So those kinds of scenarios, those kinds of versions, obviously police will look at all the evidence, and they will obviously investigate everything, because as you said there, we aren't just going to take the dad's version as he had put to police. So those kinds of elements will be investigated in this matter, Blaine.
Gillian, I understand it's still early days and details are very sketchy at this stage, but what do we know about the father at this stage? Do we know his occupation?
So last night, the family had given us an exclusive interview. We put several questions to them, and they detailed, the stepmom detailed the chain of events as was related to her. She also mentioned that the dad, who's a 50-year-old, is a builder, and the kind of work that he does leaves him in a state of exhaustion from her version. And on Tuesday night, she said he was unusually tired. And the kind of work that he does, he carries a gun. So what we do know about the dad is also that according to her version, there's a very strong and loving relationship between him and his children. He supported Luyanda in all his schooling. We know that he took Luyanda to those evening classes, but beyond that, we know that he was very supportive, like any parent, doing all he can, just trying to support this boy's education, seeing that he was such an achiever, such a top academic achiever. Yeah. So those are, a lot more will come out during the bail application. Like I said, that's not going to happen today. It's just a mere first appearance, a very brief leg of proceedings, Blaine.
Gillian, just clarify for us, was the father parked inside the school premises? And if that is the case, how was the gun allowed there?
From what police have told us, Blaine, from my understanding as well, I don't think there was a check done. And this is all from my perspective. I don't think a check was done. The dad was parked inside the school premises. And he must have had his gun maybe under the seat or in the cubby-hole. But there wasn't like a check done. I don't think checks are done to check if for whoever comes into the school premises at that time of the night. Because this incident happened like at 8 o'clock at night. The dad was parked inside the premises, yes, and that's how he managed to, get the gun in. It's not like he smuggled it in, it was in his car.
Yeah, Gillian, thank you very much indeed. Great reporting. Stay on that story. We'll be probably catching up with you a little later on. Gillian Pillay from the Protea Magistrates Court in Soweto.